Hey, good evening, everyone. I just wanted to quickly go over the different features that GitHub offers and explain how these features will be useful to us while we're working on the NASA Suits project. So I'm going to be creating multiple different videos, and each video will focus on one aspect of GitHub, and I'll explain how to use the feature that I explain, and I'll also explain how that specific feature is useful. So for this video, what I want to do is I want to go over GitHub branches. And so for the purposes of this video, I'll be creating 3 different branches, and each branch will focus on one aspect of the project. So I'll be creating a branch for the telemetry application, for the tire repair application, and for the geology sampling application. I'll also be interacting with GitHub using GitHub Desktop, as well as GitHub through the web browser. Okay. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to explain what exactly branches are and how they're useful for those of us who may be less familiar with GitHub. So what branches do is they allow you to create one or many like a sandbox type environment where you can upload and download code to GitHub without affecting other members on your team or maybe other sub teams within your overall team. Okay. So the first branch that I'm going to create is going to be the telemetry branch. And I'm going to do this in the GitHub desktop program. And it's worth noting that I have already created a new repo in my personal GitHub account, and I called it Suits Example. You can see this in the top left corner. And it's also worth noting that whenever you create a new repository, you're automatically given a default branch, and that branch is called main. And you can see that right here. So to create a new branch, what you're going to do is you're going to click on this tab. And when you do, you'll see this little text box pop up. And I'm going to go ahead and type telemetry. And I'm going to click new branch. And then this window will pop up and it'll restate the name of the branch. And then I'm going to click create branch. Okay. And so once you do that, this text area will appear. And you're going to click Publish Branch. This will push the new branch that you've created to GitHub. Okay, and you can see it's doing its thing right here. Okay. So now let's verify that this branch has been properly created. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my GitHub repository in the web browser. And right now you can see it says I have one branch and it's just called main, your default branch. So I'm going to reload the web page. And now you'll see that we have 2 branches. Okay, and I'm going to click this button right here. And you can see that the telemetry branch was successfully created. Okay, and it's worth noting that whenever you create a branch, whatever branch is listed right here, I'll get to that in a second. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a branch from the web browser, because I know some of us also interact with GitHub to the web browser. Okay, so the next branch that I'm going to create is going to be the tire repair branch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this button. I'm going to type tire repair, and I'm going to hit enter. Okay, and the page refreshed, and you can see that we have now 3 branches. Okay, so what I was saying before. So whenever you create a branch, whatever branch is listed right here is going to be the branch that you create a branch off of. So what I mean is, switching back to the main branch. So this says main. If I click right here and I create a branch, we'll call it geology. I'm not going to hit enter right now. So if I hit enter right now, the geology branch will be based off of the main branch. So whenever geology branch is created, it will initially look like an exact copy of the main branch. The same is true if I switch to the telemetry branch and I create a new branch. If I create the geology branch right now, if I hit enter, it's going to be a new branch called geology, but it will look like an exact copy of telemetry. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the main branch. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to quickly create the geology branch. So the geology branch, when I hit enter, will look like the main branch. Okay, so now I have my 3 new branches. And to further explain the point that I was just talking about, I'm going to go to the telemetry branch. And I'm going to create 2 branches off of this. And I'm going to create one for each team member that's working on the telemetry application. So I'm going to call this Richard Telemetry. And I'm going to go back to the telemetry branch. And I'm going to create a branch called OneWin Telemetry. T-E-L-E-M-E-T-R. Okay. So the reason that this is useful is because both me and GuanWin now have our own individual branches that are based off of the telemetry branch. So now each member that's working on the telemetry application has their own branch to work on. So whenever we finish our individual features, what we can do is we can then merge our branches together and have a final product that will be the telemetry application. And I'll discuss how to merge branches in a future video, but just for now, it's just good to know that feature exists. Okay, all right, and that concludes my discussion on GitHub branches. Thank you.